I thank the Noble Lord Greaves for giving us the chance to have this important discussion, and the Noble Lady the Minister for her answer. In what is ranked as the 189th most nature-depleted country in the world, this is surely something we have to be talking about. And I'm really pleased that so many members of your Lordship's House expressed excitement about pine martens. I confess that I saw these from a bicycle, so I got quite close up in France, and they are truly wonderful beasts. And I very much hope that someday soon, when we see rewilding of the Peak District near Sheffield, where I'm talking to you from, that I'll be able to see them closer to home. I also would just like to comment very briefly on some discussion about the lynx, perhaps to throw a bird among the pigeons or a lynx among the deer, and say this is something we may well have to look at in future in terms of restoring an ecological balance. But I want to pick up particularly what the Noble Lady the Minister just said, referring to what she described as severe consequences from some of the rewilding experiences. And if we think about the issue with beaver, and I have asked the government a written question on beaver strategy, and unfortunately we don't still really have a timetable for that, and it would be lovely to see one for them to be reintroduced around the country. But those severe consequences are that when you let nature run free, it's not always predictable what's going to happen. And we have, if we think about the philosophy of the 20th century, it's been a philosophy really of tidiness, of putting things in straight lines, of everything being under human management. And that perhaps was one of the great faults that the Common Agricultural Policy encouraged. So the question I'd really like to put to the Minister is, can she reassure the House that the current provisions, provisions that exist in the bill now, or possibly a provision like the one the Noble Lord Greaves proposed, could ensure that we can allow the countryside, allow land under management to do its own thing, to operate according to all the natural systems and re-establish those natural systems. So I think if we put that into more practical terms, we talk a lot about tree planting and funding for tree planting, but sometimes it's simply necessary to ensure that land is protected and you get tree regeneration. And that can be far more productive, effective, and it produces an appropriate range of species, the right tree in the right place. So I'm seeking really reassurance that the agriculture bill is going to ensure that letting nature go will attract financial support when necessary.